Hello everybody, welcome into another lesson. So today we are going to talk about 3D geometry. What I have here is a set of several shapes here, of several 3D shapes. First I have here is a cube. A cube has two bases that are perfect squares, and so are the other sides around it. The two bases are squares. Then the four faces which go around it. Faces are basically like bases, only they go around the shape, and they are all perfect squares. Then we have here a rectangular prism, if I could spell. A rectangular prism. So cubes and prisms have two bases. Cubes and prisms got two bases, where in a rectangular prism your two bases are rectangles, and then you have faces that go around that are also rectangles. I have here a triangular prism. So here, yes, I have a triangular prism where the two bases are triangles, and then you have faces that go around. And then you have here what is called a cylinder. A cylinder is a lot like a prism, only difference is its bases are circles. That's why it's not a prism, because the bases are circles, but there are still two bases in a cylinder. Now when you drop down to one base and you have the faces of it all meeting at one central point above the base, that is called a pyramid. So we have a pyramid. In both prisms and pyramids, the bases can be anything. They could be squares, rectangles, triangles, pentagons, hexagons, decagons, you name it. But the difference between a prism and a pyramid is prism's got two bases, a pyramid only has one. And the faces all meet at one central point above the base in a pyramid. Then you have here a cone, where like a cylinder the base is a circle. The only difference is in a cone there's only one base and it's a circle. Then you have a unique shape of its own called a sphere, which is the 3D equivalent to a circle. You have a sphere. It's got 3D depth to the circle. So those are all your 3D shapes. Now what we're going to do here is a little bit of some labeling. Yeah, we'll pick the pyramid and the prism and the cylinder. We'll pick the pyramid, the prism, and the cylinder. The triangular prism to be more exact. So let's label some points here. Point A, point B, point C, point D, point E, point F. Alright. So all of these points, A, B, C, D, E, F, those are called vertices on the triangular prism. So let's list our vertices for the triangular prism. You have A, B, C, D, E, and F. Those are your vertices. Now your line segments, your edges, where you have two vertices that form a line segment, those are your edges. So we have edges here. We have edges AD which will put the line segment symbol above it. We have AB. We have BC. We have BE. What else? We have CF. We have EF. We have DF. Then we have DE. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh yeah, AC. I'm missing AC. Of course I was missing one. So we have 9 edges here. We have AD, we got AB, BC, BE, CF, EF, DE, DF, AC. We have all those. Those are basically line segments that are connected from one vertice to another. Or one vertex. A singular form of vertices is vertex. Connected from one vertex to another is an edge. Those are your edges. Alright. Let's say now we want to find the bases. Well, we label the bases, again, you have triangles D, E, and F. Those are your bases. You got D, E, F. Then you have A, B, C. Faces slash bases, I should say. So your bases are your foundation, your triangles. Your faces are the shapes that go around the sides of the triangle. So we got our bases D, E, F, A, B, C, but we also have faces such as A, B, E, D. Why do I say that? Why do I say A, B, E, D? Because if you look on the side of this triangular prism here, you have 3 rectangular faces that go around. You have 3 rectangular faces that go around the prism here, the triangular prism. So we have A, B, E, and D. We have B, C, F, and E. So B, C, F, E. And then we have A, C, F, D. So those are your bases and your faces. And so we've labeled everything. So bases, again, are your foundation. Your faces are the shapes that go around the side of the prism. So your foundations are triangles D, E, F, A, B, C. Your other faces are going to be your A, B, E, D, B, C, F, E, and then A, C, F, D in the front. Those are your faces. You have the edges. Edges are where the faces meet. The faces and the bases meet. That's the point at which they meet. So you got the different various line segments here on this prism. The vertices are where 3 or more of the planes come together. So, for example, we have A, B, E, and A, B, E, D, B, C, F, E, and A, B, C all come together at vertex B. That's what a vertice is. That's where 3 or more planes come together. So we have that for the triangular prism. Now let's look at the cylinder. Cylinder won't be as involved. Of course, for the cylinder, let's put the center of each circle. I'll name the center, let's see, M. the center of the bottom circle I'll name N. Well, let's see, your bases for the cylinder, you'll just have M and N. It'll be circle M and circle N. So bases are at M and N. You don't have any faces because it's circular, it goes around. In order to have true faces, it would have to be a polygon, which a circular object is not. You don't have any vertices because you have no edges. It's circular. And you don't have any edges because it's circular. So for the cylinder, all you're going to have to deal with are bases, M and N. Now let's deal with the pyramid. Why not name the central point above A? We'll name this point B, name that C, name that D, name that E. Okay. So we have 5 points on the pyramid here. Let's list the vertices, of course. So the vertices of this pyramid are just the individual points. You got A, B, C, D, and E. Those are just your individual points. Now let's get into edges a bit. Edges are where two vertices meet up to form a line segment. Of course, you got AB. AB's an edge. You have AC. You have AD. Notice it's going from the central point up above the base down to the sides of the base, down to the vertices of the base. Then you have, of course, AE. And then, of course, we can't forget the lines and line segments themselves on the base. So we could have BC. We have CD. We have DE. Then last but not least, we have BE or EB, however you want to say it. So those are all your edges that you find on the pyramid. Now, we need to deal with the base. Well, a pyramid only has one base, so that should be easy. Should be CDEE. BCDE, excuse me, I'm sorry guys. BCDE. That should be the base. That's easy enough. That's your rectangular base for the pyramid. Now your faces, on the other hand. Faces are everything that stands up in this pyramid on the side. So you have ABC. Triangle ABC is a face. ACD. ADE. And ABE. In the back, you'll have ABE. So those would be your faces. You would have triangle ABC, ACD, ADE, and ABE. In the back, those would be your faces. So whether it's, let's start with prisms again. Prisms are 3D objects that have a base that is have two bases actually that are polygons. Whether it's a rectangle, a square, a triangle, a pentagon, what have you. Those prisms have two of those bases. They have the same bases. And then you have cylinders, which are like prisms, but the only difference is the bases are circles. You got two bases that are circles. Then you have pyramids, and much like prisms, it doesn't matter what your base is. It's got to be a polygon. That would be a pyramid, but the difference is it only has one base, and the faces all meet at a central point above the base. And then you have a cone, which is a lot like a pyramid. The only difference is the base of the cone is a circle, and it's only got one base. And then you have a sphere, which is like a ball. It's unique on its own. But finding the vertices, regardless of what shape it is, except for spheres and cylinders and except for spheres and cylinders. If your average pyramid or prism, your vertices are just the individual points, A, B, C, D, and E. And those vertices are where you have at least 3 or more planes on the 3D object that meet at that point. Edges are the line segments like AB, AC, AD, AE, BE, BC, CD, DE. Those are your edges. Those are the line segments. Those are your edges. That's where 2 planes meet. That's where 2 faces come together, or a base and a face come together. The base or bases, those are your foundational shapes of the pyramid or the prism. In this case, we have a pyramid. It's going to be BCDE, that square pyramid, BCDE. Your faces, in this case being a pyramid, it's not the bases, of course, but it's the shapes that go around the sides of the pyramid that make up the pyramid. So we have 4 triangles listed here as faces. And if it were a prism, it'd probably be a little bit more. It'd be a little bit different. But it's the same idea in a prism. The only difference is the shape looks different. But that's really it for Introduction to 3D Objects. The next lesson we are going to discuss the volume of cubes, of prisms, and of cylinders. So I hope everyone has a good day. Take care.